Hello guys, I've been teaching Babatunde colors with what he loves the most, food. I have another question for you. Can you look up at this wall and tell me what's different? You guys can help him. Fruits, fruits, fruits. Oh! Ding, ding, ding. This is not a fruit. That's a vegetable. Yes, that's a vegetable. And I have a story today about a vegetable. Not a carrot, but a vegetable. Retelling The Gigantic Turnip by Let's Get Also and Nima Sharkey. You know what gigantic means? It means it is huge. Alright, in today's story, the old man and the old woman planted a big turnip. It was gigantic. Now, are they able to get this gigantic turnip out the ground by themselves? Or will they need help? Can we find out? Alright, let's go. Long ago, an old man and an old woman lived together in a crooked old cottage with a large overgrown garden. The old man and the old woman kept 6 yellow canaries, 5 white geese, 4 speckled hens, 3 black cats, 2 pot-bellied pigs, and 1 big brown cow. On a fine March morning, the old woman sat up in bed, sniffed the sweet spring air, and said, "It's time for us to sow the vegetables." Sow? What does she mean by sow? Is it like sewing a shirt? No, she meant sow. Sow is another way to say plant. Sow, meaning plant. So, the old man and the old woman went into the garden. They sowed peas and carrots and potatoes and beans. Last of all, they sowed turnips. That night, rain fell pitter-patter on the crooked old cottage. The old man and the old woman smiled as they slept. The rain will help the seeds swell and produce fine, juicy vegetables. Spring passed and the summer sun ripened the vegetables. The old man and the old woman harvested their carrots and potatoes and peas and beans and turnips. Harvested. That's a big word. What does harvested mean? Harvested means to gather. Gathering your crops. Harvested. Gathering your crops. Let's go on. At the end of the row, there was just 1 turnip left. It looked very big. In fact, it looked gigantic. One fine September morning, the old man sat up in bed, sniffed the cool late summer air, and said, "It's time for us to pull up that turnip." And out he went. The old man pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but the turnip would not move. Then the old man went to get the old woman. The old woman wrapped her arms around the old man's waist, Both of them pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but the turnip will not move. So the old woman went to fetch that big brown cow. Now, the old man, the old woman, and the big brown cow pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but the turnip will not come up. So the old man mopped his brow and went to fetch the 2 pot-bellied pigs. Now, the old man, the old woman, the big brown cow, and the 2 pot-bellied pigs pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but the turnip will not come up. So the old woman rolled up her sleeves and went to fetch the 3 black cats. So now, the old man, the old woman, the big brown cow, the pot-bellied pigs, the 2 pot-bellied pigs, and the 3 black cats, they pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but the turnip will not move. So the cat twitched her tail and went to fetch the 4 speckled hens. So now, the old man, the old woman, the big brown cow, the 2 pot-bellied pigs, the 3 cats, and the 4 speckled hen. What did they do? They pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but the turnip will not move. So the hen shook her feathers and went to fetch the 5 white geese. Do you think they could pull it up now? So now, the old man, the old woman, the big brown cow, the 2 pot-bellied pigs, the 3 cats, the 4 speckled hens, and the 5 white geese. What did they do? They pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but the turnip will not move. So the geese craned her neck and went to get the 6 yellow canaries. So now, are you ready? The old man, the old woman, the big brown cow, the 2 pot-bellied pigs, the 3 black cats, the 4 speckled hens, the 5 geese, and the 6 yellow canaries. What did they do? They pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked, but still the turnip will not move. Oh no, look at them. The old man scratched his head. The animals and the birds lay on the ground gasping. The old woman had an idea. The old woman went into the kitchen and put a piece of cheese by the mouse hole. Soon a hungry little mouse popped its head out of the hole. The old woman caught the mouse and carried it outside. So now, the old man, the old woman, the big brown cow, the 2 pot-bellied pigs, the 3 cats, the 4 speckled hens, the 5 geese, the 6 yellow canaries, and the little mouse pulled and heaved and tugged and yanked. What do you think will happen? Pop! The gigantic turnip came flying out of the ground, and everyone fell over. The canaries fell on the mouse. The geese fell on the canaries. The hen fell on the geese. The cats fell on the hen. The pig fell on the cats. The cow fell on the pigs. The old woman fell on the cow, and the cow fell on the old woman. All of them lay on the ground and laughed. That's so funny. That night, the old woman made a huge bowl of turnip soup. Everyone ate as much as they could. And do you know what? The little mouse ate the most of all. The end. That was a great story about the big vegetable. What vegetable did we read about? The gigantic turnip. Who were the main characters in this story? Because there was a lot of characters in the story. Who were the main characters in the story? The little old man and the little old woman. And what words did we learn today? Sow means to plant. Harvest means to gather. And we already know that gigantic means what? Big and enormous. What do you think would have happened if the turnip was not so gigantic? Think about that. Till next time.